devotion to Srimati Radhika. After that, Anusrita Vrindatvi Tatpadankam, take shelter of the dust of Vrindavan, which is decorated with her beautiful footprints. Still, it's not enough. Third condition, Asambhasya Tad Bhava Gabhira Chitan, and one must sit and have the samvad, conversation, with Rasik Vaishnavas whose hearts are Gambhira Chitan, deeply, deeply steeped, deeply absorbed in Radha Seva. Then one can enter into the ocean of Shamarasa. Otherwise, Kuta Shama Sindurasa Shavagaha. We cannot understand in which direction even to make the first step to find that ocean of rasa. So one can understand something, realize this down through the ear. Shrutekshitapat, seeing through the ears. There are many dhams, manifestations of Vaikuntha. Hare Krishna. In this world, the Dwarka has appeared, Mathura has appeared, and Vrindavan has appeared. But this, in Vrindavan, in Brajmandal, Govardhan is superior. And of all the places in Govardhan, Radhakund is superior. How? Is it 5% superior? 10% superior? Srila Raghunath Das Goswami Pad said, Sri Brinda Vipinam Suramyam Apitat Shri Mansa Govardhanaha Sara Sastalikapyalam Rasanin Kintavat Anyatstalam Yasya Pyangsa Lavena Nati Mahat Saravam Mukunda Sita Prane Byopya Nikam Priyeva Daitam Tat Kundameva Sre. He said, in Vrindavan there are many beautiful places like Deer Samir, like Bangsi Bhat, like Seva Kunj, like the arena of the Ras. But Giriraj Govardhan is superior. And there are many beautiful places at Govardhan. But if one would collect all the sweetness from every place in all of Brajmandal and put it all together on a scale, it would not be equal to the sweetness of one particle of dust on the bank of Radhakund. This Radhakund is more dear to Krishna than his own pran, than his own life. It is Yata Radha Priya Vishnu Stasikuntam Priyamtata Sarva Gopishu Sevaka Vishnu Atyanta Vallabha. It is as dear to Krishna as Radhika herself. So it is something astonishing. What is it about this Radhakund that makes it so glorious? This Dham, Braja Dham, is the playing place of Radha and Krishna. Who are they? They are not two souls even. Radha Krishna Aiche Sada Ekahi Surup Leelaras Ashwadite Daridue Rup. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj said that Radha Krishna are one Surup. Swarup Damodar Goswami in his Kajacha also is said, Radha Krishna Pranaya Vikriti Ladini Shakti Rasmat Ekatmana. They are Ekatma. They are one soul. Radhika herself has realized it. Once. So, Leela Rasa Aswadite Daridwe Rup, this one soul has taken two bodies. When? No one can say. We don't think there was one soul that became two bodies at any time. Radha Krishna are eternally one soul and eternally two bodies. Always. As long as we're in duality, we don't realize this. then we cannot relish anything. But when we understand the achintya Veda Veda Tattva, the inconceivable oneness and difference of Srimati Radhika, then the heart will begin to melt. Radhika herself has said, Yat sneya pura brita bhajana rajateka vachatam vachamala deepa yugam chakasti yat tats cheta retara tamopano dat paroksham anandayata kilpashva tata sadalihi. She was telling one Sakhi, "O Sakhi, there is an oil lamp, a deep, and it is filled with the oil of sneha, affection. And in this oil lamp filled with the oil of affection, there is a wick. And this wick is soaked in that oil of affection. But sometimes you put the wick and one end comes out and you light it. But this wick is different. This wick is dipped in and two ends come out. And both have been lit. So the flame of one side of the wick and the flame of the other side of the wick, Radhika said, oh, one flame is my body and the other flame is Krishna's body. But we are one soul blazing, burning with the, from the oil of sneha, affection for each other. Separation is like darkness and the meeting, the joy of meeting is like light. So each of these two flames, Radhika says, myself and Krishna, I give Krishna the happiness, the light of happiness of meeting with me. Krishna gives me that, the light of happiness of meeting with him. And the light of both of us spreads in 8 directions. Who are the 8 directions? Lalita Vishaka Chitratambakalata Induleka Rangadevi Tungavidya Sudhim. And so it is only the light of love emanating from Radha Krishna which gives the joy to the Sakhis. The Sakhis, they cannot live without Radha and Krishna's meeting. They only live for that. So those Sakhis also, this is Radha Krishna Tattva. But the Sakhi Tattva, Ananda Chinmaya Rasa Pratibhavitavis Tabiya Eja Nija Rupa Tayakalabi. They're Radhika's Kala, Radhika's expansions. Ramananda Rai said, Madhyama Vayasa Sakhi Skandi Karanyas Krishna Lila Mano Britti Sakhi Ashapash. You have the Mano Britti or Chitta Britti. We all have. That means the Britti, the movements of our mind, movements of our consciousness. So many thoughts are coming and going. Thoughts and desires, ideas, always moving inside. But what would it be like if each one of your thoughts jumped out from your mind and took a form? Each one. What would this room be like now?
Very full.
Yeah? So Ramananda Rai, he says, Krishna Lila Manobritti Sakhi Ashapash, that the Manobrittis, the psychological tendencies of Radhika, her Manobrittis, have taken forms and they're running here and there in the form of Lalita Vishaka Chitratambakalata. All the gopis are Radhika's embodied Manobrittis. So this is the Sakhi Tattva. Sakya Sri Radhikaya Brajakumada Vido Ladini Nama Shakti Sarang Sa Prema Dalya Kishalaya Dala Pushpadi Tulya Sutulya Siktayam Krishna Lila Amrita Rasa Nitya Ula Santyam Amustam Jatulla Samsuse Shatakunamadikam Santiyatanna Chitram. Brinda and Nandimukhi, they were watching how Radha Krishna are meeting together. And when Krishna embraced Radhika, then all the hairs of the Sakhis were standing on him. When tears came in the eyes of Radhika, tears were coming in the eyes of the Sakhis. All the emotions of Radhika were manifested in them. Brinda said, look how astonishing it is. Nandimukhi said, it's not astonishing. Santi Yattanja Chitram. Why? Because Radhika is the wish-fulfilling creeper of love for Krishna. She's the Prema Kalpalata. And this creeper has so many leaves, Palav, Pushpapatta, leaves and manjaris and flowers. So when the nectar of Krishna's prem, the Premamrita, is poured onto the creeper, the wish-fulfilling creeper of Radhika, then yatataro mula nisechanena janti tatskanda vajopashaka. Just when you put water on the root, then all the branches and leaves get the benefit. So in the same way, when Sri Krishna gives joy to Radhika, then all the leaves and creepers, that means all the sakis and manjaris, they feel that joy. Shatagunam adhikam, 100 times more than if Krishna had come and embraced them directly. So they never want to meet with Krishna themselves. Yadyapi sakira Krishna sangam nahiman tatapi radhika yatna karna sangam. Even though the sakis, they don't themselves want to meet with Krishna and play with Krishna. But anyway, Srimati Radhika, out of affection for her sakis, she wants to arrange for them to meet with Krishna. So Nana chale Krishna preri sangam akarai Atma Krishna sanga hoite koti sukha pai. And when Radhika, by tricks and traps, she deceives her sakis and traps them into enjoying pastimes with Sri Krishna, then Radhika herself, she experiences 10 million times more happiness than when she meets with Krishna directly. This is the Madhurya Lila, like that. Ananye Vishuddha Prem Kari Rasa Pushta Tasapara Prema Deki Krishna Hoya Tushta. When see Krishna is not kami, he's not lusty, he's premi. He's only interested in love. So when Krishna sees the Sakis want Radhika to meet with him, and he sees Radhika wants her Sakis to meet with him. Anyanye Vishuddha Prem, when he sees the mutual love between each other, Kari Rasa Pushta, that nourishes the ras. Tasaparta Prema Deki Krishna Hoy Tushta. Seeing their prem, Krishna becomes fully satisfied by seeing the mutual love between Radhika and her Sakis. So beautiful. So these are the pastimes that take place at Radhakund. In Radhakund, on the bank of Radhakund, these highest pastimes of rasa, where the Sakis experience hundreds of times more happiness, where Radhika experiences 10 million times more happiness. So, how this Radhakund manifests and why is something very wonderful. In Srimad Bhagavatam it's described, the Rasa Leela is described. For a long time, all gopis, they had purva rag, they were burning in separation, they had fallen in love with Krishna, but they had no chance to meet with him. And then on the full moon of the autumn season, see Krishna, Viksharantam Manaschakre. Manaschakre means he made up his mind. Viksharantam. Rantam means to become Radharaman, to enjoy loving pastimes with the gopis. So he went to Bangsi Bharat and he played upon his flute and he called all the Braja gopis and they danced together. And it was such an experience. Krishna himself had never experienced anything before. Nahi jane smrite rase mano me kidrasham bhavet. If you ask Krishna, oh Shyam Sundar, what is it like, Rasa Leela? Then Krishna just becomes stunned, says, Madhur, 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 Madhur. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Nahi janes prite rase. Krishna said, if I remember this Rasa Leela, I cannot even imagine what will happen to my mind just by remembering it. What state of consciousness I will go into. Because when this Rasa Leela began, Shukadev Goswami part, he says, Rasutsavaha sampravrito Gopi mandala mandita Yogeshwarena Krishnena tasam madhye dvayo dvayo. Rasutsavaha sampravrito means the Rasa Leela began. Shukadev Goswami says. What does that mean? It doesn't say Krishna began the Rasa Leela. He said the Rasa Leela began. It means that when prem becomes sneha, man, pranaya, rag, anurag, and then anurag comes to the highest point. Anuraga Sasambeda Dasha Prapa Prakashita. Anurag comes to the highest point. It turns into Rudabhav. And Rudabhav is like a yogi going into trance. Just as a yogi goes into trance. Yada Samado Yata Munayo. Yata Samado Manayoktitai Nadya Pravishta Ivanama Rupe. Krishna himself said, just as a mystic goes into samadhi and he forgets himself. He cannot remember his name or form or anything. As he has no concept of being the doer. So in the same way, when Mahabhav manifests, then Radha and Krishna, they don't know what is happening to us. And the Rasalila becomes the doer. Now Ras takes charge. They don't know what is happening. That's why he says, Yogeshwarena Krishnena. Yogeshwarena, like he's a yogi. He's the king of yogis. Krishnena is in the instrumental case. Means that Krishna did not perform the Rasalila. He was only an instrument. Krishna Ranachai, Prema Ranachai, Krishna Bhakta Ranachai, Apinanachai, Tinanachi Ekatai. Prema Ranachai, Krishna Bhakta Ranachai, Apinanachai, Krishna Nachi Ekatai. Means that Prem makes Krishna dance. Prem makes Radhika and the gopis dance, and Prem itself dance. It's like a third person. So that third person, Prem personified, Rasalila personified, takes over. And Radha Krishna are floating in that current of Prem. What will they do? What will they say? Even they don't know. They lose awareness, who am I? Radhika says, Na so Ramana, na hama Ramani, dui manu mano bhava peshla jani. I am not the lover and he is not my beloved. Cupid has melted our hearts and we have become one. So when this Rasalila finally, after it was one night, but Yogamaya made it millions of, when it came to an end, then Krishna returned to Nandagan, Radhika returned to Yavat. Now this separation, the separation that they felt, which is expressed in Srimad Bhagavatam in Venugita, Purva Rag, it was very intense. But the separation that takes place after such intimate meeting that they feel as if they are one soul, that separation is intolerable. Very, very intense. And therefore, after that night, Krishna went into the forest and performed Rasalila every night. Every night. So one night after Rasalila, Radhika came back to Yavat in the morning. She woke up. And after some time, her mother-in-law Jatila came. And she looked on the cheek of Radhika. And there on the cheek of Radhika, in kumkum, was an impression of Makara Kundal. You know, Makara shape. Makara is like a mystical creature. Not exactly a dolphin or a shark or a crocodile, but like a mixture of them. But the Makara is actually just like Arjun has on his flag Hanuman, and Krishna has on his flag Garud. So on the flag of Cupid, the god of love is a Makara. It is the emblem of Cupid, the god of love. So that's why Krishna wears Makara Kunda, short-shaped earrings. He's famous for that. And Jyotila saw the impression in kumkum of the Makara Kundal on the cheek of Radhika. Means that they must have been sleeping together face to face like this for some time. How the mark will come. When Jyotila saw this, she thought, oh, this is scandalous. I'd heard some rumors, I didn't believe them, but now, just see. So then Vishakasaki said, oh, do you think that I have painted this on the cheek of Radhika to play a joke on you? No, I have not done that. It must have been some Vipaksha Saki, some rival of Radhika. She has done this without Radhika knowing to get her into trouble. So don't think anything bad. Then Jutila says, oh, thank you, Vishaka. Please, always stay next to my daughter-in-law. Because you are so pure and you can always protect her. And make sure she's not involved in any... Shri Vishnu, Shri Vishnu, Shri Vishnu. But because the rumors were going here and there, then Jutila and also the other mother-in-laws throughout Braja, they decided to keep their daughter-in-laws in their homes, in their havelis, and watch them very carefully. So after that, there was no Rasalila. And separation was so intense, too intense. So then, what's the next chapter? After the Rasalila? Srimad Bhagavatam. After chapter 33, then what's the next chapter? Did you read Srimad Bhagavatam? Next chapter is the Nanda Maharaj being swallowed by a snake. You know, the journey to Ambikavan. Every chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam has some backstory, some secret behind it. There's some secret behind it. So the thing is this, that gradually the time was coming of Shiva Chaturdasi. Because Rasalila was in Sharad season, and then when the Falgun comes, when the spring is coming, then Shiva Chaturdasi is coming. And every year some Brijbasis, they used to go on a pilgrimage to Ambikavan to worship Pashupati Mahadev and Ambika Devi. Every year. Nanda Maharaj didn't go always, sometimes he would go, but anyway, some delegation from Braj used to go there and give charity and worship Mahadev and Ambika there. So, that year, see Krishna, now he was 8 years old, and he said, oh, Papa, Pita Sri, I have never been to Ambikavan. It's auspicious for our life. Let's go there and give charity and worship Mahadev. Worship Ambika Devi. So seeing the eagerness of Krishna then, that year, all the Brijbasis wanted to go. But they couldn't all go because someone has to stay back and look after the cows. So the Upananda and Abhinanda, they stayed behind to look after Gosht. And all the Brijbasis, they loaded their bullock carts. They have very big bullock carts, like an RV, and 2 stories. 2 stories high. And Madhya Yashoda sat on the top with Krishna and Balaram. And the cowboys all around. And a whole caravan of bullock carts set off from Braj Mandal on the way, a long journey to Ambikavan. And when they arrived there was a very big festival. And they stayed awake all night worshipping Lord Shiva. Next morning, Nanda Maharaj gave charity, so much charity to all the brahmanas. And then when they were taking rest in the middle of the night, that's when the snake came. And he was very lucky to put the lotus feet of Nanda Maharaj in his mouth. You have to get the mercy of the Vaishnavas first, then Krishna's mercy will come. And Nanda Maharaj, he remembered, Anena Sarva Durgani Yuyam Anjastarisyata, that Gargacharya said, that those who love Krishna, by the influence of Sri Krishna, they will cross over all difficulties. So when Nanda Maharaj was being swallowed by the snake, he called Krishna, Krishna. Why? Because he was thinking, if I die, then Krishna will be sad. He wasn't bothered about dying. He didn't care about himself. Brijbasis don't care about themselves. They only care about Krishna. They thought, if I die, Krishna will be so sad. So I don't want Krishna to be sad. And he called out Krishna. Krishna came running there and touched the snake with his foot, and he was... that person, that soul became liberated from the snake body and became Sudarshan Vidyadhara, a devata named Sudarshan. So you know that history is there. But the reason for this parikrama to Ambikavan is because after seeing the impression of Makrakundala on the cheek of Radhika, all the gopis were locked in their homes. So Krishna, he didn't really want to go to Ambikavan and worship Mahadevan. He just wanted to make an excuse to get them all out of the house. Because he knew that if they were on a long journey, a parikrama to that place, then he'd have many opportunities to meet with them. Because it It was a big festival, and so many people from all over the world came there and set up stalls. There were people selling clothes, people selling jewelry, people selling food, people selling art, people doing palmistry, palm reading, astrologers. There were all kinds of people giving massage. This is a huge festival, so it wasn't only the worship of Lord Shiva. So then the Braj Gopis, all the Sakis are there. Oh, let's go. Shopping, look for some clothes, some jewelry, some necklaces, and find out. So they came to one tent. There was a mantra tantra vidushi, one woman who was expert in palmistry and astrology. So the gopis thought, oh, what's in our future? What will happen to us? Now we've been grounded, but we cannot live without Krishna. So then the Sakis brought Radhika and gave her a hand. So then that lady, Mantra Tantra Vidushi, she took the hand of Radhika. Radhika said, oh, what is the best place to live, to be joyful? That Mantra Tantra Vidushi said, Krishna Goshta, in the pasturing land of Sri Krishna. What is the highest joy? Oh, Krishna Labdhi, attaining Krishna and serving Krishna. They were amazed at how does this astrologer know our secret life? This astrologer is very good at the secrets that we hide from everyone. She knows. So then, that astrologer said, I want to tell you something very private. You Sakis should go outside. And then the Sakis went outside, and then took off the veil. It was Krishna himself. Then a very beautiful pastime took place. And actually, the gopis were going here and there. Another gopi came, she met they were selling clothes. And one seamstress there said, I am a very expert seamstress. I have looked at so many people, and only by seeing, I know exactly how to recreate those articles. Look at this blouse I'm wearing, this choli. It's so beautiful, I can make one for you. So then the gopis thought, yes, that's a very nice choli. I would like a choli like that. So then that seamstress, she said, step into my dressing room and we'll do a fitting. So then the gopi stepped into the dressing room, and then there she discovered that the seamstress was Bhai Vrindavan Bhai Lal Ki Jai. Everywhere in the festival where the gopis were going. Oh, someone is giving massage here. What is this artist painting? Artist was painting, one female artist was painting a very beautiful painting of a gopi meeting with a very charming boy. Radhika thought, how does this artist know these things? How is it possible? And she gave a compliment to that female artist, that Kalavati. Your art is so beautiful. That female artist said, oh, would you like to see my gallery, my collection? Just inside my tent here. Like this, all the time when they're at a big event. Finally, after being grounded and having no chance to meet with Krishna, Krishna was very cunning. This is the reason why all Brajvasis, the chapter after Rasalila is the journey to Ambikavan. This is why. So then when they returned to Braj after this, they experienced so much joy and loving pastimes with Sri Krishna, but now they were back in their homes. And so it was even worse. Because, if it's dark at night, but suddenly there's a flash of lightning, then after that flash of lightning, it seems even darker than it was before the lightning. So in the same way, though they met with Krishna for so many millions of years, even though it seemed like one evening, but by Yogamaya it became millions of years afterwards. Those millions of years seem like a second, like a flash of lightning, and the darkness of separation is even deeper. So then after chapter 34 in Srimad Bhagavatam, then there's chapter 35. After 34, 35. What is chapter 35? Huh? Yugalagit, correct. Very good. Yugal. In Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, there are 5 Geets which are important. Venu Geet, Pranay Geet, Gopi Geet, Yugal Geet, and Brahma Geet. Brahma Geet is after Sri Krishna has gone. He has gone to Mathura. So, of the Geets which are there in the Braja Leela, the Jugal Geet is the prouder prem, the most mature level of prem. It seems similar to Venu Geets, but actually the bhavs are quite different. Bahama bahu krita Bamak polo Valgita puada Apita venum Komalangulibi Astamagam Gopya irayati Yatra mukunda. Now, separation is so intense. See, Krishna, in the morning he goes to the forests. And gopis, hearing the sound of his flute, they say, "O Saki, when Sri Krishna takes his flute, he places his left cheek on his left shoulder." So he's Tribhanga, here, here, and here. He places his left cheek on his left shoulder, and he places then the flute on his bottom lip. And then he places his soft komalanguli beard, his very soft fingers because he never did a day's work in his life. He's Prince, he's the son of Nanda Maharaj. And he places his soft fingers onto the flute. And then he begins to play. All the sweetness of Sri Krishna, all the sweetness of his whole body is collected in his face. All the sweetness of his face is collected in his lips. And all the sweetness of his lips is transformed into the song of his flute. And it goes everywhere. And when gopis hear it, at once they have a spurti, dharma. At once they see the beauty of Sri Krishna in their heart. Radhika becomes jealous of the flute. Oh, what is this flute? Who does he think he is? When he's making Krishna work so hard. It's she, not he, she. Because she's jealous. She thinks the flute is like another heroine. Look at this heroine. She's lying, reclining on the lounge of the Sri Krishna's lip and telling Krishna, "Oh, massage me." And Krishna is massaging her. She's actually the flute. Krishna is not playing the flute. From the touch of Krishna, the flute is going, "Woo!" The flute feels so much joy that the sitkar, the expressions of ecstasy from the touch of Krishna is coming out. Krishna is not playing the flute. That is the sitkar, the gasp of ecstasy from the touch of Sri Krishna. That is the flute song. And this flute song calls all the devatas. And all the devatas gather in the sky. They become stunned. She tells of the river, "Stop flowing." Jamuna's becomes stunned and stops flowing. She's so bossy. Devatas, come here. River, stop flowing. Krishna, massage my feet. So she's jealous of her, like she's a heroine, a Swadhina Bhatrika Kanta, the heroine who has completely controlled her beloved. Ari Saki Hari Venu Barabahu Yukta Girvar Daratopi Prakshaniya Sakibi Hariliya Sarilanga Shigiri Dharanipi Yadikila Kalavenu Sandito Vakrimapaha. Oh, Radhika said this Saki, this Venu Saki, flute Saki, she's giving so much stress to Krishna. Why? Because when Krishna lifted Giriraj But now he's taking his flute, Tripanga. She must be so heavy that he's become crooked in 3 places. She criticizes. Tahi bagna gata ya saito vai tat padam bujara jonilanitam sprihayati vayam miha bahu punya prema vipita bujastimitapa. Look, when Krishna is playing the flute, then he's calling the cows. He calls, oh, Shamali, Davali, Pishangi, Kalindi. Krishna has a cow called Kalindi as well. So when see Krishna, he calls that cow called Kalindi, then Jamuna Devi, whose name is Kalindi, thinks, he's calling me. But then she realizes, oh, he's not calling me. Can you imagine? Let's say you love some very heroic hero. Secretly. You never told anyone. You never told anyone, but you really love that hero. And then one day, he comes right in front of you and says, you're so beautiful. And then you realize, I was actually talking to the woman behind you. Then, completely deflated. So gopis are saying, oh, like that. See, Krishna is calling the cow Kalindi, but the river, the goddess of the river Kalindi, is calling me. And then when the cow comes running, she realizes, oh. And only the breeze is blowing and carrying the dust from Krishna's lotus feet, and from far away, she has to be satisfied with that. Why are there waves in the Jamuna, rivulets? Because when she's stunned with disappointment and she's trembling with pain, alas, alas, Krishna's not coming to me. What is this? This is Mahabhav. Because in this high state of love, Sarva Bhuteshu Yapasyat Bhagavat Bhavam Atmana. Those who are Mahabhagavats, they see their own praying in everyone else. So when Sri Krishna is calling the cows on the flute, first they hear the flute and the gopis think he's calling us. And then they realize, oh, he's calling the cows. And then they are trembling. But because that's their experience, one who has praying sees that praying in everyone else. So she's seeing it in the Jamuna and then saying this. Understand? Srimad Bhagavatam is like this. There are layers, 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 layers. Layers of rasa. So, Bahanalatastarava Atmani Vishnum Vanjayantya Iva Pushpa Paladya Pranata Bhatavita Pamadudara Premarista Tanavo Babrishusmaha. O Sakhi, just see when Krishna plays his flute, then the lata and the taru, the creeper and the trees are in ecstasy. They burst into blossom and they cry in the form of honey from their flowers. And they tremble. The trees burst into fruit and the weight of the fruit makes them bow down. It means bowing down means becoming humble. Praying makes one humble. Prema Swabhava Jaha, Prema Sambandha. Say Mani Krishna More Nahi Prema Gandha. Where there's an actual relationship of love with Krishna, it's the nature of praying that the one who has love thinks, considers to themselves, I have no love at all, I have not even the slightest scent of love. Nahi Prema Gandha. So they become humble, they're weeping, the trees and creepers. So the significance of this verse is, that gopis mention first lata and then taru. First the creeper, then the tree. Usually say taru lata. Because the tree is the main thing and the creeper is secondary. But here they said lata first. Why? Because the lata is like wife, the creeper is like wife, and the tree is like the husband. But we see that the creeper, being in love with Krishna, cannot hide her ecstasy even in the presence of her husband. This is the inner meaning. Gopis are not saying, they're talking about trees and creepers. You have to understand that raso gupta eva rasatvam apadyate. Rasa becomes relishable when it's hidden. So Srimad Bhagavatam, the words of the gopis are like that. They never say what they mean, they always say something else. But what they want to say is hidden in what they do say. This is called avahita bhav, the concealment of emotions. So if you'll just read Srimad Bhagavatam, but a person doesn't have gopi bhav, cannot understand what's being expressed. Therefore, Sri Damodar Goswami said, Jaha Bhagavata Bhada Vaishnava Erastani. If you want to study Srimad Bhagavatam, come and sit at the feet of a pure Vaishnava. And they will open. If you're cold and you read a book about fire, you'll still be cold. So if you read about Gopi's Bhav, but we cannot feel the heat of their separation. If we hear the Haikatha from a pure Vaishnava, then as we are listening, then we can feel the heat of Braj Gopi's separation. So Banalata means the inner meaning of this verse. It's not really about trees and creepers. It's about the gopis saying, now we feel such separation from Sri Krishna that we cannot keep it inside. We're in our homes, we're with our in-laws, and we're trying to hide it, but we simply, from the Rasalila, from the visit to Ambikavan, now we're in our homes, the praying is going up and up, we cannot conceal it anymore. Our tears are coming. Our sattvic bhavs are manifesting. So what's the answer? The answer is, then what's the next chapter? The killing of Aristasura. This is the answer. This is the answer. The gopi separation is so intense that during the daytime, they remember Krishna and they have a spurti of Krishna, they see him. When they're decorating each other, doing the alakavali, patravali, painting pictures of leaves and vines in kasturi on each other's faces, they're thinking, oh, when will I decorate Krishna like this? And they become so absorbed in that they have a spurti of Krishna in front of them. And though they're decorating their saki, they experience that they're decorating Krishna. And the sakis embrace each other, thinking that each one thinks I'm embracing Krishna. And then the next minute, the vision disappears and they cry, they weep bitterly. This is their condition. So when those gopis who are having spurtis of meeting with Krishna during the day realize, this is just a spurti, this is in my mind, I'm meeting with Krishna in the day, then they have a doubt that when they go and meet with him in the Raslila at night, did I really go or not? You see? That by their praying, they become completely unhinged. They completely lost their grip on reality. And now they're doubting whether they actually meet with him at night in the Rasalila, or is that just a madness of a vision as they're having during the day? Now it becomes intolerable. What to do? What to do? Then in the evening time, on this day, Chaitra Punim, all the houses in Braj were shaking. What is this, an earthquake? The Brijbasis came out of their homes and they saw in the distance a huge bull, digging up the earth, shaking the ground, scattering the clouds in the sky with the hump on his back. He was so huge. He was roaring and running towards Braja. Those who were pregnant, the gopis who were pregnant, and the cows who were pregnant, hearing the terrifying roar of Aristasura, they had miscarriages. The cows were running in fear. The Brijbasis were running in fear. It was a horrendous scene. So seeing the pain, the fear of the Brijbasis, Krishna with his sakas came out. And Krishna said, "Oh, Manda, you fool, why are you here? Disturbing my Brajavasis, my family. How dare you try to disturb them in front of me? I will give you punishment." And then Krishna threw his left arm over the shoulder of Subal. Like this. See, because if you're going to fight someone, then you get ready to fight, right? But Krishna is so showing you the arrogant mood. Dear doctor, this arrogant mood. So he just, come and fight. And he just casually throws his arm over the shoulder of Subal, waiting. So then Aristasura was furious. He pointed his head down with his two horns facing forward, and he dug the earth a few times. And then, making a sound like thunder, he ran at Sri Krishna. And Sri Krishna just stopped him dead in his tracks, grabbing his horns and threw him 18 paces behind. Aristasura came crashing to the ground. Now he was all covered in, he was sweating. He immediately got up and he ran at Krishna again. And this time Krishna grabbed him by the horns. And have you seen in India, if you go to the river, the laundry wala, the dhobi wala, they have a stone, right? And they get the cloth and they go splat. And then they go splat again and again, and they keep whacking the wet cloth on the stone. So Krishna grabbed Aristasura by the horns, and just as the dhobi wala, the laundry man, he thrashes the cloth, he went, and he was a thrashing Aristasura. Aristasura, he was completely broken. He was kicking his legs and crying. Krishna broke off one of his horns and stabbed. He still wasn't dead. He was still kicking his arms and legs. Then Yamaraj came and Yamaraj killed him. Krishna didn't kill him. Yamaraj did it. So then Krishna was a great hero. He had saved everyone. And in the evening, when he went to meet with the Braj Gopis in the evening, then when Krishna went to touch Srimati Radhika, then Radhika said, "Don't touch me. You are apavitra, you are impure. You have the sin of killing a cow, a male cow." See, Krishna said, "What are you talking about? It was a demon. It was a demon in the form of a bull." Radhika said, "It makes no difference." Just like Indra killed the demon Vritrasur, but Vritrasur was in the form of a Brahmin. Is it like, because he was created by trust? So because Vritrasur was in the form of a Brahmin, and Indra killed him, even though he was a demon, then Indra, he had to do prayastita, atonement. So don't touch me. Mas prasad. Don't touch me. So then, Sri Krishna said, "Okay, all right. If you say I have to do atonement, what atonement should I do?" So then Radhika, being in a very contrary mood, in the mood of denial, she's teasing Krishna. This is how love manifests. Understand? In this world, everyone says, "I love you." Why? Because they're full of lust and they hide their lust with a veneer of love. But when there's actual love, then this love is kept hidden in the heart and not expressed directly. Prema dvayo rasikayo aidipa eva ridveshva bhashayati nishchala eva bhati doradayam badanam astu bahiskritaschat nirvati shigramapat atavala gutam upaiti. Radharani has said that love is like a lamp, the flame of a lamp shining in the heart. And this light, the heart is like a cottage, and the light of the lamp of love shines out through the eyes and through the face. Face is shining with love. It cannot be expressed. And just like a lamp, if you take it out of the door outside, the wind may blow and it may flicker and go out. So in the same way, if the door is open, that means if the mouth is open and love is directly expressed, then it becomes minimized. It becomes less. It's cheapened by being expressed. Just like there was one man, and he had a very good friend. And this man, his friend, he really loved the imli achar, tamarind chutney, and samosas and shak. So one day he came and he knocked on the door of his friend's house. No answer. So he checked it. Yeah. If it's a friend, you don't have to wait. So he checked it. It was open. He went in anyway. And he came. He saw his friend was busy, and he was looking. What are you doing? Oh, nothing. Just sit down. And then he noticed he is cooking the imli achar, tamarind chutney, and samosas and shak. My favorites. My favorites. Amazing. So after he finished cooking, then he put it on the plate, and he put it on the plate and he put it. He said, and his friend said, "Did you cook this for me?" His friend said, "No. I like this. I cooked for me." And then he put on the plate and put it in front of his friend. So then his friend is looking, and the two of them, they feel the love in the heart. If he had said, "Yeah, I went shopping yesterday, I had to go all over the place to get these ingredients, it was very difficult and expensive, but anyway, I did it in the end, and I woke up early this morning, and I've been preparing everything, and now it's ready, I made it just for you." Yeah? What is that? No, but when a person dissimulates, when they hide their love, but who loves them can understand, then such nectar is flowing in the hearts of both of them. So praying is like this. So in Braja, love is not expressed directly. Love is expressed through chal, deception, cheating, teasing, competing with each other. You know, if two people are envious, they're rivals. If one does something, then the other one has to do but more, better. Like that, right? That's our rivals. When there's some envy there. So in Braja, the love is so intense, to hide it, all this competition comes always. Understand? So this is what is going on here. Krishna comes to Radhika. She wants to meet with him. She wants Krishna to touch her. She said, "Don't touch me." She expresses the opposite. Krishna, he's Rasik, so he knows. Don't touch me means yes. No means yes. But Radhika is increasing his eagerness, increasing his hunger, increasing his anurag by making some delay. So Radhika, no, you have to do atonement. What atonement should you do? So then Radhika, being very reasonable, she said, all you have to do is just bathe in every holy place in the three worlds. And then come back and we'll discuss. She's so contrary. Priya yadiman kare batsan vedastuti hoiti hari se moraman. Krishna himself has said, Brahma and Shiva, they may offer prayers to me, Vedic mantras. But when my gopis criticize me, they abuse me, they scold me, and they call me harsh names, Parastricho, thief of other men's wives, Lampat Chudamani, crest jewel of debauchees, Karalika Natri Krida Koranga, you're like a pet deer on a chain of the granddaughter of Karalika. You know Karalika? That's Chandravali's grandmother. You're just like a pet deer on Chandravali's chain. Then Krishna, when he says, when I hear these words, then my mind is stolen. I forget about all the prayers of Brahma, Govinda, Madhipurasham, Tamam, forget that. So sweet how Krishna relishes their abuse, their criticism. So Radhika said, you have to take baths in every holy place in the whole universe. Then Krishna said, all right. So then with his left foot, with his heel, he made an impression in the ground. And at once a kund appeared there. And they said, come on, all tirthas, come. And at once it became filled with water. And then Krishna said to gopis, you see there, all the holy tirthas are right here. Why should I go everywhere? Gopi says, this is not all the holy tirthas, this is just water. So then Krishna said, come on. And then from that water, all the goddesses of the various tirthas appeared one after another. Kaveri, the goddess Kaveri appeared. I am Kaveri and gave pranam. Sindhu, the Godavari, Saraswati, the Pushkar, Prayag. All the holy tirthas came one by one, appearing from the water and gave pranam. Like that. So then Krishna, he was very proud and he took bath in Shamakund, and then he came out and he's ready for the rendezvous. Huh? Now Krishna wants to tease them. Stotram yaktat tastatam prakatayas chittasya date vyatam ninda pi pramadam prayachati priya sasriyam bibrati doshe nashaitam gunena gurutam kena pinatanati premna swara sikasya kasyati dayam vikridati prakriya. Once Madhu Mangal asked Purnamasi Devi, what is this ever-fresh love? What is it like? Purnamasi Devi said, this love is such that if lover and beloved meet and they speak to each other politely, oh, good day, how are you? Please sit down. Then the other person thinks, what's wrong? What have I done wrong? Huh? Why is my beloved being tatasta? Neutral. You see, if you meet someone on the street that you don't know, then you're very politeful. Excuse me, sir, what time is it? Someone that you don't know, someone you're completely neutral with, you're very polite. But if someone is very close, then you can tease them. So, because actually, people don't like ninda, they don't like to be insulted. But it's just like smoke. If there's smoke in the room, it's, smoke, take it away. But if smoke is mixed with agur, then it becomes incense and everyone likes it. So in the same way, insults, ninda, is like smoke. But if it's mixed with love, then it becomes beautiful. It's very relishable. So if they'll be polite with each other, then it gives pain to the heart. But if they tease and insult each other, then Sriyam Bibrati, this is the treasure of joy, and they feel such happiness. Love is like this. If they see a fault, if gopis see a fault in Krishna, it doesn't make their love go down. You know, if you have a relationship with someone and you see they do something wrong or you learn something wrong about them, then at once their stock goes down. Right? Or if you discover you have a friend and you didn't know that actually they can play like a master pianist. Amazing. And then their stock goes up. This is not love. Love which has terms and conditions like a contract. This is business. This is not love. Love is such that if you're beloved, you see some great quality, the love doesn't go up. And if you see a fault, it doesn't go down. Why? The love is swatantra, independent. It has its own life, completely unconditional. Prena swara sikasya kasatidayam vipridati prakriya. Love plays in its own way, which is completely independent of the beloved. This is Gopi's praying. It is not like anything we know in this world. It is not something that our vrittis can comprehend. We kind of feel it when we hear Harikatha. When we chant the holy name, when Shuddha Sattva Visheshatma, when Bhav descends into the heart, then the nature of this praying becomes apparent. So Krishna, now it's his turn to tease. Hey gopis, I've done such a pious activity, I've made such a tirtha which is equal to all the tirthas in the universe. You've never done such a pious activity. Then Radhika looks at her Sakhis, we should make a better tirtha than his tirtha. Right? If people are envious, what do? Sparda, competition, there's rivalry. But in Braj, this rivalry, this competition is prem. It is love. Love manifests in this way. Prema pant ke sabi bat sabase ke hota hai. In Brij Bas it is said that on the path of love, all the weights are 1/4 heavier than all the other weights. Okay. Be patient. I know it makes no sense, but we have to hear the explanation. What does it mean? If you go to a marketplace, you see in the marketplace, there's 1 kilo weight, 1.25 kilos, 1.5 kilos, 1.75 kilos, 2 kilos. one weight is a quarter heavier than the other ones. The shopkeeper uses them. But in Braj, on the path of Prem, every weight is a quarter heavier than all the others. How is that possible? That means if one person does something, then the other person has to outdo them. If this outdoes them, then that person has to outdo that person. Like this. So when Krishna said, oh, I have done a great pious activity. What pious activities have you, gopis, done? So then they go, immediately, these are the waves of love. We have to make a tirtha better than his tirtha. So there was just to the west of Krishna's Kund, there was some earth that had been dug up by the hoof of Aristasur. Aristasur. Bhaktiskan Sutakus said Aristasur means Aristotle. Because he's the father of Western logic. You know? If you try to know the truth by logic, then you'll never come to the true conclusion. If you try to follow the ascending process to elevate yourself by your own power, no, we surrender. Namaha. And then, prachodayat, we pray for the mercy to come down. There's no other way to know that which is aprakrita, supernatural. It is by kripa only. So, where Aristasura dug up the ground, then Radhika called her Sakis and they broke their bangles and they began to scrape the earth. And very soon, in about 48 minutes, they made another kund. This kund was square, you know, exactly perfect. Because Krishna is very crooked, so his kund was like crooked. But they dug a kund there, and then Sri Krishna said, oh, you've made a very nice kund. You can take water from my kund to fill up the kund that you have excavated. Radhika said, no. Your kund is contaminated now because you had the sin of killing a bull, and you have left that sin there. We don't want that sin coming in ours. We will collect very beautiful and pure water. My Sakis will bring thousands and millions of pots full of fresh water from Manasi Ganga. So then all the Sakis of Radhika, they made a line, and then one was filling and passing to the other, and very soon they filled the Radha Kund with the water of Manasi Ganga. And then the gopis were very proud. So then from the Kund of Krishna, from Shama Kund, a very beautiful goddess appeared. And she prayed to Srimati Radhika on behalf of all the tirthas. She said, O Srimati Radhika, you're glorious. You're praying. It is beyond the capacity of even great devatas like Brahma and Shiva to understand. They don't understand. In fact, in the whole universe, no one understands. Only Krishna has an idea of your praying. And because of this, Krishna himself is always eager to run and serve you. In the Rasalila, when you are perspiring, then Krishna himself comes and takes his pitamba and wipes the perspiration from your body. If the one nupur will fall, one bell will fall from your ankle bells, Krishna will stop the whole Rasalila. And he'll be down on his hands and knees. All the gopis, what happened? Rasalila stopped. And they see Krishna is down on his hands and knees looking here and there. Oh, I found it. And comes and personally serves Radhika by replacing her ankle belt. Krishna is eager after your loving pastimes together, when the perspiration from your sattvic bhava ecstasy has washed away the yava karasa, the red lac on your feet, alta. Then Krishna is very eager to reapply the red altar along the sides of your feet. And even he makes a beautiful pattern. He writes his own name, Sham, 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 so he can always be on the feet of Radhika. So Krishna knows. He's the only one who knows something of your greatness. And that's why he's eager to serve you. Brahma Medauryo Purana Nagaya Veda Richa Sruti Chauguna Chaya Dekyo sunyo kabuhu na kuhu. O kaisi surupa o kaisi subayan. Erita terita harya paryo. Rasakana bataya no loga lugaya. Dekyo sunyo braja kunja kutimi. Baita palot taradi kapaya. This is Sawaya, Brajbash poetry. One poet is saying, I wanted to know what is Parabrahma, the Supreme Truth. I listened to all the mantras of the Vedas and the Puranas, but I still couldn't understand what is the Supreme Truth. What is his shape? What is he like? I went here and there and I asked many people and they explained different things, but still I couldn't understand. But then I came to Brajamanda, and there I found Parabrahma. Dekyo duro Brajakunja kutimi baita palot tarada kapaya. That supreme absolute truth was a beautiful cowherd boy, and he was sitting at the feet of Radhika and massaging her feet. So that goddess, she prayed, because Krishna is the only one who knows something of your glory. Therefore, he just lives to serve you. So our lives are not successful unless you give us your merciful glance and fulfill our desire. Srimati Radhika said, what is your desire? What do you want? He said, please let us serve you by entering into your kund. So then Radhika said, Tatastu, so be it. And then all the holy rivers from Shamakund, between Shamakund and Radhakund, there is the Sangam and the bridge. They broke through underneath. They broke through underneath and entered into Radhakund. So what does it mean? It means that Radha and Krishna are one, but they appear to be two. This Radhakund and Shamakund are one, but it looks like two. But underneath, they are one. In the Upanishads, it is said, a person can only know the Supreme Lord, that person whom the Lord himself chooses and reveals himself to, then that person can know him. So only the Supreme Lord can reveal himself. Therefore, when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the combined form of Radha Krishna, came to Brajmando on Bahulastami, there he discovered Shamakund and Radhakund there. So only Radha Krishna themselves could reveal their own form, which is not different from themselves, Shamakund and Radhakund. So Bahulastami, people think it's the appearance day of Radhakund, but actually it's the day Mahaprabhu discovered Shamakund and Radhakund. Today, Chaitra Purnima is actually the appearance day of Shamakund and Radhakund. So all the rivers, they flowed in, and then they were delighted. And then, from that time, Radha Krishna, they used to meet when? Madhyan Lila. They're meeting there in Madhyan Lila in the day. Remember how the Srimad Bhagavatam is flowing? They were meeting at night. Then they were kept in their homes. And gopis were wondering if we ever met with Krishna at all. And so Krishna made a plan. Oh, I'll meet with Radhika, not only at night in the Raslila, but now the situation is so critical. I'll have to meet with Radhika also during the day. And this is why, and then that chapter comes, the killing of Aristasura, because Radhakund is manifest. So Krishna meets with Braj Gopis, Raslila at night in Vrindavan, and Raslila in the day, in Madhyan Lila in the midday, in Shamakund and Radhakund. So, this was the introduction to our class. Now we'll start the actual class. What time is it? Oh. But I've gone over time, please forgive me. Can I say a bit more, little?
Please.
One or two words, you don't mind?
Please.
Radhakund is the supreme place. When Krishna goes into the forest of Vrindavan, then because he has praying, Stavra Jangama Dekina Dekitaramurti, Savatra Vainij Ishtadeva Spurti, one who has praying, he sees the beloved everywhere. Bibrajat tilaka kalinda tanayani roga nilambaro dancha champaka kanchana champaka chaviraho nana rasullasini Krishna prema payoda reina rasadena atyanta sammohini Gopan Dakprata Vallabha Vijayate Radheva Brindatavi. When Krishna enters into the forest of Vrindavan, he sees the yellow teal flowers, Bibrajat shining, Bibrajat tilaka, and thinks, oh, he's seeing the tilak of Srimati Radharani. Niroga Nilambaro, when he sees the flowing blue waters of Jamuna, it's like the flowing blue skirt of Srimati Radharani. Dancha Kanchana Champaka, when he sees the golden champak flowers, their beautiful golden aura, he thinks it's the face of Radhika. Nana Rasullasini, and you see Krishna, he experiences so many varieties of Ras Ullas, overjoyed with rasa. Krishna Prema Payoda Reina Rasadena Tyanta Samohini, when he sees the waterfalls, water coming down from the mountains, he sees the perspiration running down the body of Radhika. Krishna Prema Payoda Reina Atyanta Sammohini. He becomes Atyanta Sammohita, completely enchanted, because everything is reminding him of Radhika. But when he comes to Radhakund, Radhakund is directly Radhika herself. It is Radhika's Abhinna Swarup. If Srimati Radhika is in Maan, if Radhika is upset with Krishna because she found out that he was meeting with that young girl from Shakistali. Do you know Shakistali? Good, don't go there. So, if she's upset and she refuses to meet with Krishna, then Krishna thinks, what can I do? So then Krishna goes to Radhakund. If I cannot speak to Radhika, if I cannot worship Radhika, if I cannot pacify Radhika, then I'll go to Radhakund. And I'll offer deeps to Radhakund. I'll offer flowers. Krishna picks flowers with his own hands and offers them to Radhakund. And prays to Radhakund, please give me your mercy. Agaripurapiyatnat atturdevai prasada prasakrakrita kataksha praptikama prakamam Anusarati yaduchya snana seva anubandais tadati suravirata kundameva srayome. Krishna is Agaripu. He's so powerful he can defeat Agasura. But he becomes helpless. He cannot do anything if Radhika is upset with him. At that time he goes to Radhakund. Anusarati yaduchya snana seva anubandais. Krishna can only be attained by Raganuga Bhakti. But Krishna himself is going to Radhakund and worshipping according to Vaidhi Bhakti. All the rules and regulations. Very strictly. Morning, noon and evening, 3 times a day. Snana Seva Anubandais. Seva Anubanda. According to the rules of service, he's taking bath morning, noon and evening in Radhakund. Offering arti, offering flowers. And like Dhruva Maharaj standing on one leg, chanting his mantra. Radhe 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 Jai 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 Shri Radhe. Radhe 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 Jai 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 Shri Radhe. Om Krishna Bhanu Nandini Radhe Radhe. Krishna Bhanu Nandini Radhe Radhe. Hanumata Mohini Radhe Radhe. Hanumata Mohini Radhe Radhe. Om Vilasini Radhe Radhe. Astasati Shiramani Radhe Radhe. Shamyatam na param kadapi chavedasham na karumi Dehi sundari darshanam mama Manmatena dunomi Mamaya Ichalita bilokya. Shamyinho Radhika, please forgive me. I'll never make this mistake again. Please, Give me your darshan and save my life. Just glance at me once and save my life. Because now I am being decimated by the rain of Cupid's arrows. In this way, Krishna is worshipping Radha Kund to fulfill his desires. Praptikama Prakama. What? Sokritaka Kripa Kataksha. Just to get Radhika's merciful glance. So how great is Radha Kund? Radha Kund is superior in every way if we analyze according to Desh, Kal and Patra. Time, place and circumstance. It's the best time of pastimes because it is midday. The Madhyan Leela is longer than the other yams. Except for the Ratri Leela. But all the other yams, it's longer than all the other yams. So there in the daytime, in Radha Kund, in that longest portion of the Leela of the day, Madhyan Leela. We're discussing according to time. We should know that when Krishna goes there, he does not do Leela according to time. But time behaves according to his Leela. So all the 6 seasons, it is not that when this season comes, Krishna does this pastime, and when this season comes, Krishna does that pastime. When Radha and Krishna want to do a pastime, then the season of that pastime appears there. So all the Ritu Devis, the 6 goddesses of the 6 seasons, you know, they have 6 Vedic seasons. Vasant, springtime, now. Then Grishma, the hot season, summer. Then Varsha, the rainy season. Then Sharad, the autumn season. Then Hemant, the cool season. Then Shishir, the cold winter. So these 6 seasons are there. And these 6 goddesses of the 6 seasons, they're all under the guidance of Brinda Devi. Brinda Devi tells them, you go here, you go here, you go there. Ready to serve in the pastimes. So Radha Krishna experienced all 6 seasons in one day. In only one day. This is why, if you go to Navadvip, every place of Braj Mandal is present in Navadvip. Where is Govardhan? Koladvip. Where is Varsana? Godundvip. Where is Radhakund? Yes. Where is Radhakund?
Ritudvip.
Ritudvip, the island of the seasons. Where the goddesses of the 6 seasons are living, then the Radhakund of Braj is manifest there in Navadvip. So, it's a very special place because first season is Vasant. The goddess Vasant decorates all the trees. Radhakund has very beautiful water, very beautiful ghats with steps going down made of gold and jewels and pearls and coral, and very beautiful trees, kadamba trees and bakul trees and other trees all the way around. There are places for swings, and all the way around the edge of the Kund, Brinda Devi decorates these trees with so many flowers and creepers and cuckoo birds singing and pigeons and parrots and peacocks. And it's springtime there. So when Radha Krishna come into the forest, all the way on the banks around Radhakund, what Leela do they do? You know, the main Leela of springtime is Braja Viraja Me Puri Re Rasiya. Try to keep up. Braja Viraja Me Puri Re Rasiya. Ho 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 ho, Puri Re Rasiya. So in the atmosphere of spring, in the trees all around, that is Vasant, the Hori is going on. Holy Hori. In Braj Hori. So then, after the spring, Vasant, then there is Grishma. Grishma means the summer season. Where is the summer season? In the middle, actually in the Kund itself. Because if you have a swimming pool, it should be heated swimming pool. Right? Then, so the summer manifests in Radhakund. So when Radha Krishna and their Sakhis go into the water to play, splashing with each other and hiding here and there among the lotus flowers, then, the water is very warm and nice. So the summer season is serving in the water. And then after the summer season, there is the Varsha, rainy season. So on the eastern bank of Radhakund, then the goddess of the rainy season comes there. And when Radha Krishna, they want to have a particular pastime, they go to that forest and the kunjas there on the east side. What is the pastime in the rainy season? Radhe Chulan Padaro Juki Aye Badra. It's the Julan Yatra. Jule Jule Radha Damodar Vrindavan Mein Kaisi Chai Hariali Ali Seva Kunj Mein Jula Jule Radha Damodar Vrindavan Mein. Hot summer, in the summer season, it's very hot, everything becomes dry, but when the rain comes, everything becomes green. And so that is called Hariali, Hariali Teach. Everything becomes green, and the rain comes not like rain, but like fine mist, just droplets floating in the air. And in that refreshing, cool atmosphere after the heat of the summer, then Radha and Krishna, they sit on a beautiful swing together, and the Sakhis push them and sing songs, and all their cares and worries go far away, and the Madanakya Mahabhav manifests. In this swinging pastime, the highest moods of Madanakya Mahabhava manifest. So that happens on the eastern side. But this is all happening in one day. Just in the midday pastimes, one season after another. So then as you go around, after the rainy season, then there is Sharad season. So on the south of Radhakund, there, the goddess of the Sharad, autumn season, she manifests autumn. So what pastime takes place there? Yes, in the autumn season, the flowers blossom and the flowers fall, and they make a carpet of flowers for Radha and Krishna to dance upon. And so they dance and have Rasa Leela there on the southern side. Then after Sharad, there is the Hemant, the cool season. So on the western side, the goddess of Hemant comes there and makes cooler weather. So when it's cool, no need to go outside. Let's stay inside and play some board games. Play board games. Play chess. Play, like Vedic Ludo. There's like a Vedic Ludo. It's called Chaupar. So Radha and Krishna, they play Chaupar, they play dice. They have their gambling games there. And then as you come to the north, then the goddess of the Shishir, the cold season, is there. In the cold season, then you have to cuddle up in the Shaya Bhavan, on the bed of flowers in front of a blazing fire. Very cozy. In one day, not one day, even only the noon pastimes. There, Radha Krishna, they go from Leela to Leela to Leela to Leela. Actually, the Sakhis arrange it. The Sakhis are in control of everything. Really, these are not the pastimes of Radha Krishna. All pastimes are pastimes of Sakhis. Vibhurapi Sukarupa Swapakashopi Bhava Shanamapi Nahirada Krishna Yoyarite Swa Pravahati Rasa Pushtim Chit Vibhuti Ivesha Swayatina Padam Asam Kasakinam Rasagyaha. In Govinda Lilamrita, the Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is saying, even though Radha Krishna are Vibhu, they are all pervading. Vibhu Api Sukarupa, and they are the embodiment of all happiness. And their happiness is Swaprakash, self-manifested and unlimited. Shanamapina Hirada Krishna Yariteswa. But Radha and Krishna, they cannot experience even 1 second of happiness without the Sakhis. Sakhi Bina E Leela Pushtina Hyai. Sakhi Leela Vistariya Sakya Shradai. The Sakhis are managing everything. They tell Krishna, now you are tired, you should rest. Radha and Krishna, now rest. Durbai Sabashitilata Abhipuni Kelo Ai. And when they see Radha Krishna have rested, now again come and play. Another. Now what should we do? Now do holy. Now swinging. Now drink honey wine. Now you're all covered in colors. Go into Radhakund and bathe in the water and wash off all the fragrant colors. Go into the water. It looks so beautiful. Now gamble. Now eat something. Now play in the Nikunja alone. Like this. It's the Sakhis who are directing. Sakhi Leela Vistariya, they're expanding the pastimes from one to another. And Sakhi Ashwadai, they're the ones who are relishing. Because Radhika relishes Krishna, Krishna relishes Radhika. But who relishes Radha Krishna? Sakhis. So Pravahasi Rasa Pushtim Chidvibhutam Srayatina Padam Asam Kasa Kinam Rasakya. If there's anyone who is Rasakya, they know Rasa, then what will they do? Oh, take shelter of those Sakhis. There's nothing else to do. There's nothing else to do in life. The only thing that we have to do in our life is Sri Rupa Manjari Pada Shri Mora Sampada Sei Mora Bhajana Pujana Sei Brata Sei Tapa Sei Mora Mantra Japa Sei Mora Jiva Nirjivan. The lotus feet of my Sakhi Rupa Manjari, they're my everything, they're my vrat, they're my tapa, they're my japa, they're my life and the life of my life and my only treasure. If someone is actually rasik, this is their life. Completely surrender. Rupa Anuga, following Rupa Goswami outwardly and following Rupa Manjari inwardly. Only this. So, the Sakhis are leading Radha and Krishna from Kunj to Kunj to Kunj, from pastime to pastime to pastime. According to time, it's the best time of the day. But the Leela is not following time. Time is following the Leela and all the seasons are coming to serve. So from time and Desh, Kal, Desh. Desh means the place. This is the best place. This is the best place in all of Braja. First of all, just nearby, just a few kilometers away, is the village of Mukharai. Have you been there, Mukharai? That is Radharani's maternal grandmother's house. You see? So Radhika can say to her mother-in-law Jyotila, "Oh, my most worshipful mother-in-law, today I am very loyal and loving granddaughter. I want to visit my grandmother." And she said, "Yes, go and visit your grandmother." So she goes, and then just very close to the grandmother's house, there's Radhakund. So on the pretext of visiting her grandmother, she can go and meet with Sri Krishna. So by place, Desh, by location, this is the best place. Chandravali's place is a Gauri Tirtha. You know? Just like as Radhika has Radhakund, Chandravali's place is Gauri Tirtha. It's the other end of Radhakund, of Govardhan. So on that end of Govardhan, that is mainly predominated by Chandravali. She mainly goes there. Actually, Radharani predominates everywhere in Braj. Even Chandravali Vijayini Radhe Radhe. All glories to Radhika. She's always victorious even over Chandravali. Sometimes it happens that even Krishna, to prove that Radhika is his most beloved, he makes a trick and he tricks Chandravali and has loving pastimes with Radhika in Chandravali's Gauri Tirtha. That is the total victory. Chandravali Vijayini Radhe Radhe. So, but Radhika's place is there and it's named Mukharai. So by location it's the best. Also, there are two paths that come. The Parakrama Marga around Govardhan goes this way and this way. So from this direction, it goes to the Gosht, where the cowherd boys, Gwala Pukara, where the cowherd boys take rest. So Krishna can quickly say, tell the boys, "Oh, we've just eaten now, you should all rest." And then while they're resting, he'll tell Balaram to look after the cowherd boys. Krishna will sneak off with Madhumangal or Subal, and quickly from there, he goes to Radhakund. Radhika will come from Mukharai, or Surya Kund is also nearby, about 3 kilometers away. So Radhika will say, "Oh, my dear mother-in-law, I want to worship Surya Dev for the health of my husband." And that he will have a vriddhi, his wealth of cows and his opulence will increase. Yes, go. So by location, because Surya Kund is also nearby, so Radhakund has, by location, many opportunities to make a false pretext to go there. So then the other road goes in the direction of the village of Chandravali. So Brinda Devi and Nandimukhi, they protect that side and make sure that Chandravali or none of the Sakhis of Chandravali will show up in Radhakund. And from the other side, Subal, Madhumangal and others, they protect that if any of the cowboys wake up and start looking for Krishna, they don't accidentally wander into Radhakund. So Radhakund is protected by the arrangement of Yogamaya from all sides, that no one can go there who is Vijati above, who has a different mood. You see, this is very important. Because someone may say, oh, but Suryakund there are so many pastimes there. There's also playing in the past Jal Kelly. There's also Madhupan Leela, drinking honey wine. There's also Hindo Leela, Julan Leela, swinging. These pastimes also take place there. So why is Radhakund so special? Yes, because sometimes at Suryakund, surprisingly, suddenly, Jojila may show up. And Kujila may show up because he's just, my daughter-in-law has been a long time doing this Surya Puja. I wonder if she's really there. And then Jojila and Kujila, they show up at Suryakund to find out if Radhika is really there or not. But no Vipaksha, no person with a different mood outside of Radhika's group can go to Radhakund. So it's completely protected by Yogamaya. So this place is the best. And also, Kal, Desh and Patra, the actual quality of this place, this is the only place where all the Astasakis have their kunjas. All the Astamanjaris have their kunjas there. And because there are only Swapaksh, Radharani's own group, and there's no danger that any other Vipaksh can ever come there. So Bhav is manifested to the highest level. Sajataya saye snigde sadhu sangha suto bare. Rupa Goswami Pad said, if we want to attain our perfection, we must associate with Vaishnavas who are established in the same mood that we aspire for. That is called Sajatiya. Sajati means same type. Ashaya means the heart, whose heart is of the same type that we want to attain. So, if you are in the company of persons who have a different mood, then your own bhav will not manifest. This is a principle. This is a principle. If there's a mixed group of people who have different moods, different ideas, different objectives, then when you sit with them and you have a kirtan and harikatha, even your own mood will not manifest. Because therefore Rupa Goswami Pad said, Sajatayashe Srimad Bhagavad Atanam Ashvado Rasikai Saha. Sajatayashe Snigde Sadhu Sangha Svatobare. One must taste the many meanings of each word and syllable of Srimad Bhagavatam in the association of Rasik Vaishnavas. Those Vaishnavas should be very significantly more advanced than ourselves. They should be snigda. They should be affectionate to us. That means those Vaishnavas, snigda, affectionate to us, means that they must have made a sankalpa. Because you have served them and pleased them, they made a sankalpa in the heart. You will be my Kripapatra. You will be the recipient of my mercy. And therefore they're snigda. So by service to Vaishnavas, then the sankalpa comes and the affection comes. So first, there should be significantly more advanced, there should be affection to us, and sajatya, in the same mood. If you want to attain the Sakyaras, be with the devotee in Sakyaras. If you want to be in Vaikuntha, be with the Ramanuja Sampradaya. If you want to be the Dasi of Radhika, then be with the Brajrasik Rupanuga Vaishnavas who are absorbed in following Rupa Goswami Pad outwardly and Rupa Manji inwardly. And have Kirtan and Harkata with them. Then Bhav will manifest. So similarly, in Radhakund, because no Chandravali cannot come there, any other groups of gopis cannot come there, it's only Radhika and her Swapaksha, her own group, and therefore the praying is manifest to the highest degree. Radha kundam hihapi gokulapate premamrita plavanat kuryadasya virjato giritate sevam vivekinakaha. Rupa Goswami Upadeshamrita said, what intelligent person would not serve Radha Kund? It is superior to Vaikuntha, superior to Mathura, superior to Vrindavan, superior to Govardhan, because Premamrita Plavanat, there is a flood of prem there. If there's a river flowing, it has two banks. So it's controlled by the two banks. But when there's a flood, when there's a tsunami, then the river breaks the banks. And then it goes everywhere out of control. So that's what we were mentioning in the beginning of the class. When Rudabhav manifests, then Radha and Krishna, they're not karta, they're not the doer anymore. Prem becomes karta and takes over everything. And even Radha and Krishna themselves, what will happen next, we don't know. They have no idea. Someone may say, but the Madanakya Mahabhav of Radhika was manifest at Prem Sarovar. Yes, it happened on one occasion. But every day in Radhakund, this Madanakya Mahabhav is manifest. So beautiful. What is Madanakya Mahabhav? Tomorrow. We'll discuss tomorrow. Bhai Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki jai, Vare Saniwali ki jai, Jai Jai Sri Radhe. Jai Gaur Sitanath Premanande Hari.
Sadhu, sadhu.
His greatest praying prayojan for
Thank you for sitting very still and listening very patiently. So we should sing to... You have a Gaur Arti or...
Oh, that happened, yeah.
Oh, okay. So we'll sing a kirtan. Can you open again or
They're asleep, yeah.
They left. They went to Shiva Sangha. They left. They went to Shiva Thakur's house for all night kirtan. So anyway, remembering that, we'll have a little kirtan and then...
A lullaby for them.
Serve Mumper. No, they're dancing like crazy. In Shiva Thakur's house. They don't want to hear a lullaby. The whole house is shaking. All the neighbors are complaining to the Jankazi. This is the Maha Sankirtan Rasa. Yes. So yes, let's stand up and dance. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama.